All right, good morning, traders. Today is April 30th, 2024. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning hasn't changed. Still the same one we had yesterday, 507.55. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab Fives still in downtrends, all made higher highs and higher lows, closing over the traps and over the 17 EMAs. SPY ends up the day with a 2-hour uptrend still intact and a last minute 10-minute uptrend as well. Gold and silver both still in uptrends. Silver made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. GLD made an outside day, that'd be a higher high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap but over the 17 EMA. USO still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish cross and under the 17 EMA. UNG still in a downtrend but had a nice green candle yesterday, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over the bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. We might have a trend change coming. We'll see what happens. US dollar index still in an uptrend, closed the day around the 105.70 area, producing almost a bearish engulfing candle. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. All right, let's just minimize that for the time being. Let's crank this up, put on the daily chart. All right, so here we are with the daily chart, and boy, that's hard to see. That one's hard to see. That one's still hard to see. We'll come back to that one. That one's no good, no good. I need some new charts here. All right, anyway, here's yesterday's price action. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap. Let's see if I can get back to the one I was at. And that's not it. That's not it. There we are. Okay, so closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. All right, so on the 2-hour, let's go take a peek at the 2-hour. Okay, so here is, no wonder they're squashed. There we go. All right, so here's the all-time high anchored VWAP right up there. You can see we came up here, bull flagged right into it, and we're consolidating right underneath it. I'd have preferred if we'd have consolidated on top, but we're consolidating right underneath it. And you can see the pivot here is, there's a 509 pivot. But my pivots is at 507.55. Let me change that. 507.55. All right, so that's where we really are. And let's back this off. That's way too thick. Okay, so that needs to come down to right about there. All right, so you can see the price action for the 2-hour uptrend. Yellow, price, yellow. All right, price in the yellow 3 EMA on top of the white line. That's the 8 EMA. So you can see us consolidating right underneath this red line, which is the all-time high anchored VWAP back here. All right, so this would be the recent low anchored VWAP. Okay, if we get up underneath this downtrend line right here, that'd be the yellow line right there. I'm dragging my hand across that right there. If we get down underneath that, it's a good chance we come down here and probably test this anchored low VWAP right down here. All right, so we'll see what happens. And what number is that at? That's right about 103.50 area. It'll probably, drift up a little bit as price consolidates up here even more, so we'll see what happens. But 2-hour uptrend, all right, 10-minute, we left off, look at this, we had a 10-minute uptrend. They just changed it at the last minute. 10-minute uptrend, in the 2-hour uptrend. So what we're looking for is this morning is green erases red. I'd like to get on top of this all-time high anchored VWAP, but we're looking for green erases red entries to go higher. We've consolidated now for about almost 2 days, because most of this back here on Friday was a pop-up, and then for the rest of the day, pretty much since about 10:30, it was just consolidation over to the right. And you can see all day on yesterday, the 29th, it was mostly just consolidation to the right as we're trapped right up underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP. So we'll see what happens here today. All right, so they made a little drift to come down. They checked the bottom of the bull flag here, and you can see the bulls bought it right back up. We came down here, and the bulls brought it right back up. Same here, same here. So it's looking to me like the bulls want to get on top of this all-time high anchored VWAP. Now that would signal to me money's coming back into the market. Just floating around between the recent low anchored VWAP and the all-time high anchored VWAP just kind of says to me that we're balancing our books. You know, there's some shorts and some longs, and they're just trading shares through here to get down to a level that they want to get to. All right, so there's SPY. Again, we're looking for green erases red entries, hopefully on top of this anchored VWAP. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. All right, take a look at QQQ on the daily chart. All right, yesterday's candle, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Still in a downtrend, all right, unless you want to count this as a higher low, and this is a higher high, but still in a downtrend. We broke this low, so we'll see what happens. They got to get it back up over this high for me. They got a little petite higher low and a petite higher high, so we'll see what happens. There's QQQ still in a downtrend. All the Fab Five are still in downtrends, even though they put in these little one candle higher lows. So we'll see what happens though. So FNGU. All right, so here's FNGU again. You can see the little one candle higher low. Not much of a, really a low, just one candle. But anyways, it does make up price action, and that would be an uptrend. If you want to count it that way, it could be deemed as an uptrend, as a higher low and a higher high right there. But FNGU, all right, for yesterday's candle, got a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. IWM, same deal. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. All right, same thing happening there. They got this little one candle higher low. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. That does count, but for me it's kind of hard to accept, but it does count. All right, so here on Diamond Dow, we did not get the higher high, but yesterday's price action, you notice here would be the higher low. This is the only one that did not make the higher high, so this is definitely still in a downtrend. But price action for yesterday, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, almost over the 17 EMA there. So there's Diamond Dow. This one has not made that one candle higher high. All right, this is the only one. So there's Diamond Dow, still in a downtrend. All right, the other four you could say that they're in uptrends with that one candle higher low and those one candle higher highs. So it counts, but for me, not so much. Diamond Dow. Anyways, let's go take a look at Energy USO. Excuse me. Energy USO, petroleum crude oil, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish cross underneath the 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend till it breaks this low, or unless they start making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so right now USO still in an uptrend. producing a higher low right here, looking for that higher high. So pressure on the bulls to produce that higher high. May take some time. USO, let's take a look at UNG. UNG, here's yesterday's price action, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross, over the 17 EMA. You can see today's price action challenging that downtrend line right there. Maybe they can break through. Possible trend change coming in UNG, or is it just accumulation from this $14 level? We'll see what happens. So there's UNG, still in a downtrend. All right, but nice candle yesterday closing over the 17 EMA. Possible trend change. Nice challenge here going on. Let's take a look at our precious metals. Here's silver. Yesterday's price action for silver, lower high, lower low, closing under bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend, okay, till it breaks this low right here. Unless they start putting in, well, let's just say lower highs and lower lows, which might be possible right there. So there's silver. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, same thing. Still in an uptrend till it breaks this low. All right. Gold yesterday got a, what's the high there? 217.22, high there. 217.07, higher high. Low there's 215.25, low there. 215.53. So outside date, higher high, lower low, closing just underneath the bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA. So there's gold. So commodities getting walloped this morning. I don't know, did the dollar get bullish? We'll have to go check that out. Anyway, let's go take a look at our technicals, T2122. All right, so here we are with T2122. Put in like a higher low right here, and then we produced a higher high up in the buy zone. Then the bears threw us out, and we made another higher low, and it failed to produce a higher high, and then the bears threw us out again. Okay, so then we just kind of chopped around, knocking on the door of the buy zone, but the bears wouldn't open it. All right, so we just kind of chopped around here on the buyer's chop zone, trying to get through the doors on the buy zone. So you can see right there us trying to get in there and hold that area in there. But nice job for the bulls, because they did hold the bullish chop zone. There wasn't a visit back to the 50-yard line or the mid-court right here. So nice work on the bulls there. Couldn't quite break into the buy zone and hold it, but still, all in all, a good job. On T2123, here you see price action. Green from the beginning of the day almost to the end of the day, except for two candles. All right, a little pullback to VWAP. Other than that, just a melting up on T2123. T2123 3-bar, you can see us in the hockey stick bear flag pattern right here. We hang out here too long, I think we're coming down. We got FOMC on the 1st. That'd be tomorrow. Okay, so we are trying to, looks like T2123 on the 15-minute looks good, but this 200 keeps climbing higher and higher, and yet the price action seems to be melting through it. I'd like to see us bounce off this area back up into the prior all-time highs. We'll see where we're going to go from there. So there's T2123. T2123. Still in bear flag right there. Down and over. So preferred the V bottom where it comes down and bounces back up. Instead, we got the hockey stick bear flag, and the longer it stays here, the more likely it is to shoot down and produce another leg like this right here. So let's take a look at FNGU. That was T2123 3-bar chart. All right, here's FNGU on the 15-minute. All right, nice day. Started out green, ended green, except for right here, about 4 candles. Had a little higher low put in right there, and then back up against VWAP. So FNGU, nice job there. I like to see that, see how this consolidated right through here, and now we consolidated right on top of it. That's bullish, FNGU. So things are looking bullish for today. We'll see what happens. All right, so now let's go take a look at our economic numbers. All right, we'll start off first with the calendar. Okay, so today what do we got? Employment Cost Index comes out at 8:30. Case-Shiller Home Price Index, 9 o'clock. FHFA House Price Index, 9 o'clock as well. Two house price indexes at 9. Chicago PMI, 9:45. Consumer Confidence at 10. And nothing else happened. The main event is tomorrow, and that's at 2 p.m. We're going to have a FOMC announcement, okay? So tomorrow we got MBA mortgage applications, ADP employment report at 8:15, Treasury refunding announcement at 8:30, PMI manufacturing final at 9:45, ISM manufacturing index at 10, construction spending at 10, JOLTS at 10, and 10:30 every Wednesday we got a petroleum report. Then at 2 p.m. we got the main event this week is FOMC announcement at 2 p.m. and the the chairman's going to have a little press conference probably about 2:30, kind of explain why he did what he did with the FOMC. So we'll see what happens. Supposedly they did not see any rate hikes in the future, but inflation did tick up a little bit. And I think he said that they kind of expected that. So we'll see if he changed his mind. I'm sure we've got some hawkish people in the FOMC, but we'll see what happens. I think maybe he will kind of point to a month that he plans on making the rate cuts. Hope he doesn't push them back too far. Like to see them happen in June. Might not happen till August, okay? And the market could interpret that as not so good. So we'll see what happens. And I went over all this the other days here, so we'll go over those on tomorrow. But anyways, this is the main event, FOMC. Just be prepared for that. Probably want to be flat or at least hedged going into FOMC at 2 p.m. Okay, so let's go see what max pain is for today. I don't think it's really going to matter. Now, lately, into these announcements like CPI, GDP, FOMC announcements, they've been rallying into them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today if we get a breakout of that consolidation going into tomorrow. So max pain for today, and that would be regarding the options that do expire today. All right, it's going to be 507, and the put to call ratio, which is over here, we got like 1 1/4 puts for every call. Not really conducive for a put squeeze or short squeeze. It's just kind of meandering right there in the middle of the road. So it's not great, not good, not bad. So we'll see what happens there. So there's max pain. Take a look at the dollar index. All right, here's our dollar index. Now you can see we had that almost bearish engulfing candle right there. See that? Where we took out the body of this. And where we're headed, looked like we were going to head lower right into this double top, one top, two tops right there, and into this uptrend line. But they stopped and then pulled back, and so we kind of bull flagging right through here on the low side of the bull flag, right about 105.75. So U.S. dollar index still in an uptrend. As you can see, we've made higher lows. Here's the low, made a higher low, and then we're making, here's a double top, but then we're making higher highs. This was really a little bit of a higher high. Then they made another little higher low here. Definitely made a higher high up there. And they're bull flagging right into the same consolidation where we got caught up before. So we'll see what happens. All right. So U.S. dollar kind of putting in another bull flag Looks like it comes back and then pops up. We'll see what happens. U.S. dollar index. All right, let's take a look at the earnings calendar. This is for Tuesday. That's today, last day of the month. All right, so tonight, Mr. Big Boy Retailer is going to report tonight. Okay, almost $2 trillion, $1,803,000,000,000. Amazon's going to report tonight after the close. That will definitely be volatile to the markets. All right, so I really foresee them probably popping. All right, probably a good chance Amazon pops tonight. We'll see what happens. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying it's been in an uptrend and it's looking good. I think it needs to. I think it wants to go higher, but we'll see what happens. Eli Lilly's going to report this morning. All right, 600, almost 2/3 of $1 trillion there. For pharmaceuticals, they're going to report this morning $688 billion. Coca-Cola is going to report this morning, all right, before the open, $266 billion. Advanced Micro Device is going to report tonight, $250 billion there, $248 billion. They're going to report right alongside of Amazon. McDonald's is going to report this morning, almost $200 billion. HSBC, they're going to report this morning, $159 billion. Stryker's going to report tonight, $128 billion. Eaton, $126 billion. They're going to report this morning. And Starbucks going to report tonight, almost $99 billion. Mondelez, $95 billion. American Tower, $80 billion. Okay. I wonder how my Verizon Tower's doing, so we'll see what happens there. For tomorrow, for earnings, all right, we got MasterCard. Remember tomorrow, FOMC at 2 p.m. All right, so MasterCard's going to report in the morning. Qualcomm, $184 billion. They're going to report in the evening. MasterCard, $431. They're going to report in the morning. Pfizer's going to report in the morning, $143 billion. And some familiar names here, but nothing really notable that's going to really rock and roll the market, unless, of course, they come in with some really good numbers. That would rock and roll the market. But that's on the agenda for tomorrow. Now, Thursday, big day on Thursday. All right, Apple, $2,623,000,000,000. They're going to report Thursday night. All right, so that will definitely shake up the SPY and the QQQ. Novo Nordisk, they're going to report about $561 billion. They're going to report in the morning on Thursday. Shell and ConocoPhillips, they're going to report. Shell looking for the P&L. ConocoPhillips, $153 billion. They're going to report in the morning. So we'll see what happens there. For Friday, Berkshire's going to report. Almost, let's see, 8 and 8, be $1,600,000,000 or more, 6 trillion, maybe even 700,000. Okay, almost $2 trillion, 1 3/4. All right, for Berkshire Hathaway, they're going to report on Friday if they can find their P&Ls, which I'm sure they will, because you don't find your P&L, the market does not like that. So they're going to report Friday. They've been around for a while. I think they're going to report. They just might not report in the post-market or the pre-market. So we'll see what happens. But that's Friday. And don't forget Friday's options expiration. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's go back and let's take a look at a few of the sectors to see how those sectors are doing. Let's take a look at, let's take a look first at SMH. Okay, SMH putting in a lower low here and a lower high is in a downtrend. All right. Yesterday's price action produced a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. But SMH is in a downtrend until they come back and take out this high up here, or produce a higher low somewhere, unless you want to call that a higher low. Produce a higher low and then make another higher high. That would be SMH right there. So still in a downtrend. That's our semiconductors. Now, semiconductors pretty much hang out in the same ballpark as the technology sector. So here's our technology sector ETF. Okay, again, we made a lower low. See this low? Made a lower low. All right, so we're in a downtrend. All right, so see right here, price action for yesterday was an inside day. Lower high, higher low, closing over a bullish trap, but underneath the 17 EMA. So still in a downtrend. Semiconductors, still in a downtrend. Technology sector. Okay, so those two, we pretty much need those. Those two pretty much dominate the market. They take up quite a big portion of it. So it'd be nice to have those in uptrends as opposed to downtrends right now. Let's take a look at our transports. Transports is how we move those good products in technology around the country. And transports in a downtrend here, making a lower high and a lower low. Yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing below a bearish trap below the 17 EMA. Almost kind of indicating we may have another small leg down to test this major support down here. So possible another leg down here in the transports. Not looking good. They're in a downtrend. So we got semiconductors in a downtrend. All of the Fab 5 in downtrends. We've got the XLK technologies in a downtrend. And now the transports are in a downtrend. Let's take a look at XLF. Okay, XLF. We took out these lows right here and this low right here. So XLF, geez, that's a tough call. I don't know. I think that's a downtrend to me, but we didn't take out this low here. So for me, it's a downtrend. We still haven't taken that low out right there. Got kind of a triple top going. So for me, it's a downtrend. But yesterday's price action, let's look at this. Lower high, lower low, closing inside the bullish trap, just over the 17 EMA. So for me, looks like all of the major sectors kind of in a downtrend right now. And we'll see if they can spin these around with these earnings coming in. Okay. You guys lost me? Can you guys see and hear me? If you're not, it's on the recording. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so I'm going to take questions in the room. All right, got a little bit of data coming out this morning in about 2 or 3 minutes. All right, take questions in the room. I want to thank everybody out there in YouTube land, video land, and Rumble and Facebook. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being members of my group. Appreciate that. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for sticking with me all day yesterday and hanging out with me again today. It's an honor and a privilege to have you all here. Thank you for being here. I'll take questions, and if not, I'm going to render my video and try to get it posted.